call here. So perhaps something good followed by something bad. He made a nice re-raise to reduce the pot. And then when you flop the nuts, is it so big that you should almost always check, or there's...
On a board like that, when it's like pretty harmless, king 9-6 with no suits.
If it was king 10 jack or
yeah, then you have to make a bet.
That's different. But on that flop, you got to check it once.
Because you know your opponent probably has like maybe ace queen. You don't think he does, or just a lower pair, so he's just drawing that.
Well, what about bet size? I mean, in that example, he bet more than the size of the pot with the 3 kings. How much should you be betting?
We're checking, and if we bet half the pot, you want to keep him in.
Yeah.
How do you know when to lay down a hand?
You just got to have feelings about it. But I mean,
feelings and play smart. Think about what is your opponent doing so far, what you've seen of him, and look at the board. Just play smart. You know what he's got.
What about underbetting? Do you have to bet a certain amount in order to get people out or make them pay?
Yeah, like, you know, if you underbet, they're going to pay for sure. But sometimes you want people out. It depends on the situation.
Well, let's have a look at bet size here when someone gets 2 aces. I mean, how do you know how much to bet? Are there...
Like, well, what you see most of the time in the best bet pre-flop is like when there's nobody in, you're first in to raise 3 times the blind.
I called.
Well, this is Ali McCoist, and I think he's made
Just
a small
called.
raise. He doubled the big blind with the aces, which is fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, you have aces, you want to get some action.
This is Nicky Piper leading out. He's got a pair of 5s and a straight draw.
You're calling 5?
And raise it.
And you're raising?
Straight in Glasgow.
You just double it.
The raise
Yeah,
is
that's,
5,000.
I don't know.
Is that dangerous?
Bedroom shame.
very dangerous, as you can see.
Like, it's a dangerous flop. You're up against the blind. You can
I mean,
have
he's
2
only,
cards.
he's only going to win this 2 out of 3 times. So this is a very, very dangerous situation that he's in. And
He raised little on the flop. Now on the turn, he has to bet big.
Well, there's now about 30,000 in the pot. How much should he think about betting?
Bet the pot, 25, 30,000. Because look at the board.
it's very simple.
5,000.
With his aces, he should have been betting the
He
pot.
bets
all
just
the time.
5,000.
And
This is
He's asking for
horrible.
trouble.
Horrible play. And he's showing that he's weak.
Yeah, there you go. What's your aces worth now?
Is there ever a reason when you would want to bet so small in relation to the pot? He's
Sure,
got
when you
to
have
be
the
there.
nuts, when you want to keep them in, but
you
not
have
when
the-
the scary boards come out.
You have the pure nuts. Yeah.
5,000 bet.
Like, you see what the problem is with this guy. He's used to playing limit. He's just making the limit bets. He doesn't. Some beginners don't even know.
And is that a pot he could have won?
He could have won. He could have won on the flop on the turn, but he didn't. So his opponent got him on the river.
Good cards.
Good card, yeah.
Well,
Just so ugly. I know.
and to finish, a hand that is going to combine both of today's topics. Let's see some good play with aces against Leibowitz, who defends his big blind and gets in trouble.
Yeah, you want to take the pot, and there's money in there. It's yours. But if you keep them in, then they'll catch up.
Pass.
Yeah, really the situation with aces. You want someone to have a good hand. That's when you make money with aces. You don't make money when someone has a bad hand. You want someone to have ace-king against you, ace-10 or situation. This is pretty dangerous when someone has king-10. That's
Well-
a safe flop for aces.
It's a pretty good flop for king 10 too, isn't it?
Yeah,
You do.
but you still feel you got the best hand if you got aces. You know you got the best hand.
Yeah.
8,000.
If they have hit a set on you, so be it. Like, you can't get away.
Raise.
Raise.
Oh, that's funny.
Now,
20,000
he's
more?
defended his big blind, but should he be able to get away from it at this
Yeah, he
point?
made a great bet to find out where he's at. He gets raised big. Sure, he can think his opponent's making a play, but you see his aces, so it's time to get away.
Early on in the tournament, you know, it's got raised, could easily be up against jacks.
Jacks were better, yeah. Even
Even
ace-10.
ace-10.
Yeah.
And as far as the aces are concerned, he's made a good size raise, and now when he's gotten called here, does he think he's in trouble?
Like, it depends what he thinks about his opponent. Like, you have you still, yeah, you're not hoping your opponent hit a set, but then so be it. You probably think your opponent's calling with a 10, trying to catch up.
Check.
Now you just absolutely must go all in. There's no other bet here. When the pot's so big,
He checked. You see, he was scared for a set. He didn't want to put his whole tournament on service. King 10, I don't know what he's thinking. He probably thinks he's good.
He,
All in.
25,000.
well, this is almost a slow play
Oh,
on the
so-
turn, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, so he played it as a slow play.
yeah, and then now it's turned into a great play.
Yeah. He took a little risk, but
Now it looks like he's bluffing, so this is a great play.
and he did it so quick. Yeah. It's like the pot's so big, I don't know how much chips he has left.
I call.
And a call.
Press the line.
Oops, yeah, then you're like,
What do you like about the way he played the aces, and what do you like and don't like about the way that they played the king 10? Protected the blind.
King 10, he made King 10 suited, he defended the blind, which is fine. He made a bet on the flop to find out where he's at, but then when you get raised, you have to, yeah, make a decision. You probably beat.
It was still the first level. Do you think it was too soon for that guy in the big blind to go broke? Did he overprotect?
Yeah, he did. I mean, once he got raised on the flop, it was an easy opportunity to get out of the hand. But, I mean, on the river, he made a big mistake by betting it. There's not much value.
Yeah, it's not fair. You're only beating ace-king and your opponent's not going to pay you, so why would you bet? Maybe you stop bet. When you get raised, you can fold. But the way he played it was just the river, like, he shouldn't call the flop and then should have not put a cent in on the river.
I mean, Andy was brilliant. To play that was a brilliant play. He read the play. He knew he was good. It's a great play when you can do that with aces on the river. Any hand that's just good enough. But you know it's only one pair.
Yeah, if you know your best, it's beautiful when you can do it and get all the money, which he did.
Well, we learned a lot in this first section. We learned how to sit down in a tournament, what cards you should look for, don't underbet with big pairs, and also don't call on a scary board.
Most amateurs make the mistake of playing too many hands and calling their money off too much. In poker, you want to be a bettor, not a caller. The reason for that is bettors have two ways they can win a pot. You can win a pot by betting and nobody calls and you win the pot, or you can win a pot when you bet and you get called and have the best hand. You also win the pot. When you call somebody, there's only one way you can win the pot. You must have the best hand. So just in terms of simple math, you should see that betting gives you a 2-to-1 advantage in poker over calling.
Poker becomes a lot easier when you're dealt high pairs, but next time things will become a little trickier as we tackle how to play low pairs and medium pairs.
Once he got raised on the flop, it was an easy opportunity to get out of the hand. But, I mean, on the river, he made a big mistake by betting it. There's not much value.
Yeah, it's not fair. You're only beating ace-king and your opponent's not going to pay you, so why would you bet? Maybe you stop bet. When you get raised, you can fold. But the way he played it was just the river, like, he shouldn't call the flop and then should have not put a cent in on the river.
I mean, Andy was brilliant. To play that was a brilliant play. He read the play. He knew he was good. It's a great play when you can do that with aces on the river. Any hand that's just good enough. But you know it's only one pair.
Yeah, if you know your best, it's beautiful when you can do it and get all the money, which he did.
Well, we learned a lot in this first section. We learned how to sit down in a tournament, what cards you should look for, don't underbet with big pairs, and also don't call on a scary board. Of course, poker becomes a lot easier when you're dealt high pairs, but next time things will become a little trickier as we tackle how to play low pairs and medium pairs.